All right, good morning, world history students. For this video, I am going to just briefly walk you through the Unit 3 essay. So I took what was on Pearson, I modified it a little bit because I found the question to be slightly confusing. So I've created a new document. You'll find this in the Unit 3 folder, so it won't be in a separate one. It'll be in the same folder as everything else from Unit 3. This video and document goes over the essay question, requirements, rubric, and the graphic organizer that you'll use to basically create an outline for your paper. So there are two questions you're going to be answering in this short essay. The first is, what geographic conditions do you think made for a successful civilization? The other question being, what geographic conditions posed the greatest challenges for early civilizations? And we're specifically looking at the Americas, so the different civilizations we learned about in this unit: Olmec, Maya, Aztec, Inca, and then some indigenous Native American groups. So I've broken down here geographic conditions. You can talk about a number of things here. You can talk about physical geography, so like the physical landscape of the areas where these civilizations formed. You can look at culture, so language and customs, money. You can look at government and politics. So there are different basically categories that you can look at in your essay. So the overall objective of the essay is to compare and contrast the social, political, and economic characteristics of the Maya, Aztec, Inca, and North American native civilizations. So the requirements of this essay: you'll need an MLA heading. Please create some sort of title for the essay. Everything should be typed in size 12 times New Roman font. Please double space your work. At a minimum, there should be 2 paragraphs or about 1 page typed. You can go up to 2 pages. You definitely don't need more than 2, but you shouldn't have half a page filled. You should have about a page, page and a half typed. You do not need a works cited page because everything should be coming from the Unit 3 modules or the online Pearson textbook. If you are ever using a source outside of Pearson, you do need to cite it. You don't need to use any sources outside of Pearson because everything's in there, but just make sure you're not trying to use Quizlet, Wikipedia, things like that for this essay. In terms of the scoring, you will get points for completing the graphic organizer. This is basically a completion grade. So as long as you have things written in each of the boxes, which I will show you what that looks like in a moment, you will get 30 out of 30 as an assignment grade. The essay will be its own grade. And then if you attend an online writing workshop, which you would sign up for, which I go over that in my other video, you would add 4 bonus points onto your essay score. So it's about a 10% grade increase. It should bump you up about a letter grade. So we have the rubric here. It's out of 36 points. And each category, you will get a score from 1 to 4. 4 is excellent, so you get all the points for that. 3 is strong, 2 is fair, 1 needs improvement. The categories evidence and explanation are worth twice as much. So for evidence, if you got a 4, I would multiply that by 2, so you'd get 8 points for this category. If your explanation was a 3, 3 times 2 is 6. So those 2 categories are the most important, so they're weighted a little bit heavier. I'm not going to go through every single thing on the rubric, so you guys can take a look at that, but basically you need to have some sort of thesis or claim. So if we go back up quickly to the essay question, there's 2. So you would have some sort of thesis statement stating what you think makes a successful civilization, what conditions helped create a successful civilization, and then what the challenges were in a thesis statement. Then you would back that up with evidence, and then you would explain that evidence. So you'd elaborate. Then things like organization, mechanics, so spelling and grammar, formal tone, so you're writing in an academic way, not in a casual sense. And then just make sure you have all the essay requirements. So those are these: MLA heading, title, font, things like that. And that'll be out of 36 total points. If there's anything on the rubric that you are confused about, please don't hesitate to ask. And if you sign up for one of our individual writing workshops, I can go over this in more detail with you should you need it. The last page is the graphic organizer. You can do one of two things with this. If you'd like, you can print it and handwrite it, take a photo of it and upload it, or you can just make a copy of the document and type in your answers, which would probably be the easiest way to do this. So it's broken up into the different civilizations. We have Maya, Aztec, Inca, and then North American native civilizations, and then 3 categories: social characteristics, political characteristics, and economic characteristics. Remember, economics is going to be things to do with money, taxes, jobs, things like that. Political characteristics: how's the government run? Were the civilizations their own separate city-states that worked together? Who was in charge of the civilization? Things like that. And pretty much everything else could go into social characteristics. So culture, language, things of that nature. And I recommend just doing bullet points, kind of just writing in shorthand. So you should have something filled out in each box. Then you will submit that as its own document, and then you'll get your completion grade for that. Obviously, if you only fill out half the boxes, you would only get a 50% on it. So make sure you have something in each of the boxes, and this will just help you write your paper. Because you'll have things basically organized in front of you. This is your evidence that'll help you create your claim, and then you'll just elaborate on the evidence for your explanation. I've uploaded this document as a separate document, so you can just make a copy of this one page and edit it and submit it. So should be pretty straightforward, and make sure you're using details from the module and the online textbook, not just Googling stuff on the internet. So those are the components of the essay. Again, it's a short essay, about a page, page and a half, but I really want everyone to be able to complete it and do so successfully. So don't forget to sign up for an individual appointment, because those are bonus points, and I can help you proofread your essay, help formulate your thesis, basically anything that you need help with for this assignment. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. Take care.